And we are there. This is a good start for a Monday. We never normally get in that quick, but this is a good thing. That means there's good juju out there. We love that. Good morning, everyone. This is Carroll-Sue, a.k.a. Nani Boss, Lady Canna right here, live from Vero Beach with
TwoSistas. And hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Janis, a.k.a. Wellness Diva, a.k.a. Deadline Diva. I just love that. I have to add that in there. And Mindset Monday, well, actually, I should not say that. I was ready to say doom and gloom because that's what it's been all weekend long in our area in the Northeast. It's actually quite sunny today. It will be a little cold. And we are so excited, obviously, when we come back from the weekend, all about hitting that reset button, Mindset Monday. But we have so many amazing things to share with you. We have two amazing guests this week, and you know they come from an amazing background with some awesome topics dealing with dementia, with good brain health, and really who doesn't need some good brain health, right? And then we're trying to schedule in a guest for next week. And once I confirm that, we're real excited about that. And that's all I'm going to say. Chair exercises, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. And I wanted to let's do a little catch up from the weekend because there was just so much buzz going around, so much, you could feel it. Everyone was kind of obviously chatting about, all these different alerts that they're getting. And I have just received notification because it was funny because I was looking at the date and I did not realize this particular social media platform, when they restrict you by hours. So I think I'm down to the hours now. And what it's done for me has actually been a kind of a weird blessing, because I always say whatever comes your way, you got to kind of just means that you're got to turn just a tad, readjust, reassess, find another way. How many of you have to do that? We have to do that daily because things flip on a dime, right? So what this really gave me the option to do, which we always have the option, I do utilize it, and now I'm just utilizing it a little bit more, is actually direct message, DMing people, chatting with them that way. Because obviously we all have busy schedules. I still love to pick up the phone and hear that live person's voice, but if I can't, this was a great way. So because I could not respond to people's messages, I received so many great birthday messages that I want to make sure that I touch bases with them in a personal way. So that's kind of the blessing. So those that are feeling kind of those restrictions or restraints, use your direct message if you're not restricted from that, which I don't think you can, but I'm not going to say that. Another good thing that I learned is we frequently talk about how many fact checkers there are out there. What are their credentials? Because somebody fact checks you. But I believe, now it's not the social media platform's decision to do it this way, but I believe you should know who's fact checking you and what is their background. What do I know about them? Do they have a misguided point of view that is in direct conflict with someone? So what I did find out, and I want to share this, is that you can go under your settings. And if you go under your privacy settings, you click on settings, you hit blocking, you can actually search words. And so you can go in there and you can put the word fact checker or kind of different variations of that, and all these different fact checkers come up. So what did I do? Block, 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 block. So someone asked me this morning, how many did you block? That automatically came up. That means that they were, in my space. I believe it was 60, and initially it was 52, and then I found another 18. And that is alarming because that kind of goes into the line of, the subject that a lot of people were talking about this weekend, which happened to be obviously censorship. So I don't mind being fact checked. I would like to see the reverse of that, though, that the people that are being fact checked can also fact check the fact checker. So that was what I was up to this weekend, along with massive pickleball, because I truly believe, I'm starting to see my game change. And I think that goes with exercise, that goes with anything that you do. The more you do it, it becomes a really good habit. And we're all about developing great habits for health and wellness. So you need that cleansing of the mind. So that was the other positive thing about kind of being restricted. Being restricted was kind of cleared my mind. I utilized IG a little bit more. And then I got, I think Saturday, was it Saturday? I think we played 5 hours of pickleball. My tootsies were a tad sore, I'm not going to lie, but it was a great workout. And, when you have these things that come up on the weekend, you might have a pivot, you might have a divot, and you got to just slightly turn it a little bit, change it into something positive. So how about you? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. Got a lot of things done, and my eyes were actually bothering me yesterday, so I really limited my time on the computer because I have issues with glare. But what I found was very interesting. I had a lot of great conversations with some of my friends this weekend who are entrepreneurs who do utilize Facebook to grow their business and to reach out to their customers. And, we're always learning of these different platforms. And one of the platforms that they have decided to go to is called Telegram. Now, I've never heard until that time of Telegram. And I just find it absolutely kind of amazing in a way that all these different social medias, and maybe they've been out there for a while and we just haven't realized it because we're so focused on Facebook. So what happens? And I started thinking about this. Obviously, we're recording in Zoom to Facebook. What happens when there is a mass exodus out of a social platform? Think about the many times that you've been on Facebook and let's say you're looking for social media graphics and that stuff comes up and you look at something, you click on the learn more and you do your own background sort of thing on that business and you find out that they have a good reputation. So you go ahead and buy from them. What is that going to do with all the entrepreneurs out there? So I think the fact checking, although in a way it's a good thing, I'm not that crazy about it. And when we joined Facebook, we knew, you have to click agree to their terms. I get that this is their platform. They own whatever's in Facebook, it's their gig. I get that, but I think at some point, I think fact checking is overrated.
Well, I think it is a good source to make sure that information that is being shared is truthful. So I don't have a problem with that. It is when you're being censored, and it's two different things, because in my particular case, I was actually sharing doing a live of a live that was on social media, and it was factual because it was what was currently going on. It was the side entrance to the Capitol where they peacefully were going in and the police were letting them in. And if you didn't really know what was going on, you would just say, oh, they were, how when you go to a concert and there's a big crowd and, the doors open and they trying to rush in, and it was kind of that kind of a feeling, but it wasn't even that kind of a feeling in the sense of, I think it was more orderly. So I was showing from one entrance versus the front entrance where I'm not disagreeing that, things occurred. We do know now, and with that topic, we do know now that there was a rush to judgment. And that's the problem with social media and fact checking. They're quick to judge, to pounce, to jump on the story, to dismantle it, to discredit it, to poke holes in it. But that's the issue with fact checking. If you want to fact check specific what did this occur? Are they're like, I also quoted Jefferson. I mean, that's an exact quote from him. And, I was told that it wasn't, and, that and cited whatever their rules or regulations are, which it doesn't. It was just a quote that he said. So I think they're using the fact check in such a manner that is really, they need to be fact checked. So it's kind of a role reversal. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of this, because a lot of the censorship that most of us have been feeling is because they're sharing, with social media. You have live footage. You can't dispute somebody that's at a certain event and they're actually filming from that event and or video and then uploading, and they're sharing it. Now, that's an accurate account of what is occurring at that particular time and space. So when you are censored off of sharing that, which is factual news, it's going on, it's the news as it's happening, now it becomes that it's more their agenda. And if you're not meeting the agenda, that's why you're being restricted, or at least that's what it is. So I'm going to give you a perfect example of that. How many news and probably big tech, social medias that went out of their way to paint a picture of what occurred at the Capitol on January 6th versus what actually happened? They rushed to judgment. What happened? They rushed through an impeachment. So the FBI has announced publicly that the insurgency at the U.S. Capitol was a pre-planned attack. This is coming directly from the FBI, so I've got a disclaimer. This is not any information that I am saying. This has been a fact. You can fact check it. That it is a statement that the FBI has put out. And it basically said that that's what occurred, that they have arrested a few people, they reviewed the timeline, and things did not. So my point being is, I think because social media is so instant, so isn't fact checking until they pause and say, well, wait a minute, let me do a little bit more research. The other thing that I shared was actual news photos from a news station. And they said that those were, promoting things that did go against their standards. I don't think posting a picture, when I look at posting a picture of a crowd versus posting a picture of a comedian with the current person in the executive office's head as a joke, now those are two different types of pictures. Does one incite the V word? Oh, absolutely. When you're showing a mocked head of our current leader draped in blood versus I'm sharing a news picture from a news station that was a picture of the crowd. So it's kind of, if you follow my lead, if you think like me, if you have the same opinions of me, the social media is your platform, is your stage. If you have a different perspective, a different viewpoint, they're twisting some of that. And I'm not saying there's not people that are abusing and promoting the V word. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. And for those that don't know what the V word is, you can private message me. It's a word I don't want to use on this particular platform, but it's not a good thing. And patriots have been really encouraging people, stay at home. Don't get involved with these protests. They could be, we don't know. Could they be a setup for something other than to make sure or to showcase you in a bad light, doing things that are not what you should be doing? So I know I'm speaking a lot in code, but sadly, that's kind of where we're at right now, is you have to be careful of the words that you choose. You have to be careful of the pictures that you post. You have to be careful of who you quote, and you have to really be careful on your viewpoint. And that is a sad scenario, especially for entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs obviously use social media as a platform to get their message out. So that's kind of what was going on all weekend.
Yeah, and speaking of the media, I'm not going to say too much other than, you know, we have medical malpractice in the world, we have legal malpractice, and what I will say is I think we need to have media malpractice, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. But rolling right along into Mindset Monday and different things that are going on, you know, we always look at ways to improve our mindset, to, you know, dive into things that maybe we're not really sure about. So, how do you go about navigating, you know, for instance, mindset? There are so many different people out that do mindset work. You know, which one should you follow? Which one should you not follow? Some of the people that I love, Gabby Bernstein, gosh, there's so many others. And I have one of her cards. Where is it? It's on my desk here. I have one of her card decks. And excuse me, I thought I would share this with everyone today because I think it kind of relates to all the energy going on, but it says, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking in the energy of love. So where is your mindset going to take you? So Carroll-Sue, who are some mindset people that you love to follow, or maybe you see their quotes or?
Oh, there's so many. You were to ask me that because I'm gonna draw a total blank is what's gonna happen. That's just how it is. There's too many. I can't even quote one in particular, but I'm gonna quote Lady Canada. I'm going to quote Lady Canada because Lady Canada came up with the word, and I'm speaking about her in the third person, came up with a word this weekend because we keep talking about, you know, there's a certain energy and we want to calm and we want to, you know, make sure that we're putting out that positive vibe and, you know, kind of resetting. You know, we hear the word reset a lot. Well, Lady Canada came up with a new word this weekend. It's called calmergy. Calmergy. So you're calm, but you've got energy. You're calm, you're calmergy. And just kind of just flows off your lips. And so I keep repeating that there's this, you know, you can have this energy about you, this good vibe, but there's a calm to it. And I think that's kind of the spirit that's going on right now. And mindset, listening to mindset coaches is paramount because they put you, they're saying what you're thinking and you're feeling, and sometimes you don't have the right words or the right energy to fluently say it in a calm manner. So I would say to people, you know, whoever you listen to, whatever podcast that you vibe off of. I mean, there's so many. I like to go to not necessarily the big ones, because the big ones, they have their place, they're influencers, and they're awesome. I think Trenton, I can't think of his last name off the top of my head, is very good. There's so many out there, but I like to look for someone that's not on the big stage, that all of a sudden they just, you know, you hear them on a podcast and you gravitate towards a certain phrase or a certain word, because the blessings of what we're all going through, and there are a lot of blessings through this calendar year already, going from really, what is today? Today's the 18th. We're getting close to that 1 year mark that President Trump had, you know, started chatting about and letting us know about the virus, that whole year, we talked about that. You know, you have to have a grateful heart, even in the midst of struggle, in the midst of death, in the midst of tragedy, losing a job. How could there possibly be blessings? There are so many. And a lot of times it's just from talking to people or listening to not the big influencers, listening to just normal everyday people. If you really are paying attention to your conversation, and I really encourage people to do that, you'll pick up a vibe, you'll pick up a word that so relates to you, that adds value and impacts you in such a way that it totally flips your day around. So my word to share today is calmergy. You can have the energy to have the passion for your point of view, for your health and wellness, for your vision, but also have a sense of calm. And I think the sense of calm comes from being postured in your belief. I truly believe that.
I love that word. And, think about that calmergy, the ability to go forth with your own energy, positively mindset that leads out into so many areas of your life, kind of creating your own real wheel. And I love that. Mindfulness exercises at its best. As a side note, speaking of podcasts, as I was doing my follow-up work for our podcast guest this week and reaching out to this other amazing guest, I don't want to get into that right at the moment until I actually firm up a date with him, but we are now on 12 different platforms. Apple Podcasts, Listen Notes, Podbay, Castbox, Anchor, Breaker Audio, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, and Bullhorn.
That's amazing. And we thank all of our viewers and our listeners because you're sharing our podcast. You're chatting about Two Sisters. We pride ourselves in being authentically us, knowing and sharing that you don't reach a certain age and you just, I'm done with life. I'm just going to enjoy my retirement and move on. We have so much more to give, so much more to share, so much more to impact, that we are really showcasing the fact that healthy at any age, vision at any age, going after your goals at any age does not have an expiration date. And we don't want those inner feelings of what you want to accomplish to go in the graveyard. We want you to be encouraged to say, you know what, if these two sisters can do it, I can do it too. And that is the whole point of what we do. We do talk a lot about current events because current events do impact our health and wellness. So living a whole life of being authentically us, bumps, tears, laughter, cuckoo, and potty talk, they just go hand in hand. And we want to showcase that you too can just go out. Don't say, oh, I wish I could have, I should have. Why didn't I? We don't want you to live like that. We don't want to live like that. And that's kind of why this kind of mushrooms. So we thank all of our viewers and our listeners for being loyal, for watching our journey keep growing. And you're along for the ride with us, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. And again, this started from years of, hey, don't you think we should start something, a project together? That's how it evolved. So, excuse me, don't put those feelings aside, act upon them. And I'm so grateful that I really, and it's kind of not in my nature a lot of times to say, no, this is what we need to do, and say that to an older sibling, like, no, you don't understand, we're doing this now, we have to do it. Okay,
did you notice what she just said? Older sibling, she likes to do that. And guess what? I am, and I don't give a shit. It is what it is. Somebody had to be the older, right?
That's right. Different perspectives. Just think about that for a moment. A different perspective from two people that are related, are not famous, but have a desire and a passion to share with the world. And what we officially started the podcast in April, at the end of April 2020. And here we are, January 2021. So about 9-10 months later. And we have, as of this coming Wednesday, we'll have 151 episodes under our belt from a concept, just from talking about making an impact on the world. So on this Mindset Monday, how are you going to create and make your impact on the world? And just a reminder, we would love to have a viewing live audience with us on this broadcast. If you are interested, or maybe have a girlfriend or two that might want to join us, and we'll mute you. You can even come on and be with us as we're doing this. And you can raise your hand if you want to add into the conversation, kind of like the Two Sistas round table, so to speak.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, maybe Two Sistas square.
That's right.
We are in a square and there's 4 sides to a square. 4 sides. Take that in half. What do you have? You have a coin. You have a coin. 2 sides to the coin. That is what we provide for you. 2 sisters providing sometimes 2 different points of view altogether, sometimes meshing exactly the same, and sometimes a little salt and pepper going on in there. And that's all good stuff. That's what it's about. But what will you do this Monday Mindset? Do something good for yourself. Relax a little bit. Make sure you take that time, catch up on a good book, maybe read, even just reading a few chapters. Listening to whatever inspires you, that calms you down if you feel like you need that calm. But whatever you do, calmergy, go out there and just embrace it all. Monday Mindset, I love it. Great way to start. Well, actually, yesterday's the first day of the week, but good way to start off the work week.
On that note, my name is Janis, aka Wellness Diva, Deadline Diva, and we love sharing with you. And I am with Two
Sistas, and this is Carroll-Sue, aka Naughty Boss, Lady Canada, live from Vero Beach. Gonna go out and do some movement, get it out there because it's blue, it's sunny, but it's actually been a little bit cool, but that's okay. I'll take it because I'm looking at blue skies and I absolutely love to see a palm tree and the palms kind of just swaying. Gives you a good feeling. You guys have a great Monday Mindset, and we will see you tomorrow for Two Sisters Triumph Tuesday. What did you triumph over the weekend? Maybe you're going to triumph. So, you know what? I bet you're going to triumph over something today and you don't even know about it yet. Embrace it. Take care, guys. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.